Hey guys, Josh here, and today we're going to take a look at the G1 Godmaster Doubledealer, or in Japan known as Doubleclouder. Now before we get into the character or the toy itself, I did want to point out a different variation of this guy. Now if you lived anywhere other than Japan when this guy came out, this is the version that you got. But if you lived in Japan, you got this, but wherever you see gray on this figure, it was actually white. Then he had silver here on top of the missile, and then this back section, which is actually his chest piece that's teal, this was actually gold. So that version is actually a little bit more rare considering that it was only released in Japan. Now before we get into the character, I did want to do a couple size comparisons in this mode because he has more than two. He's actually a triple changer, so very cool figure. Here he is with G1 Rodimus Prime. As you can see, Rodimus is a little bit longer there. And there you have the width. Now unlike Rodimus Prime, this guy's actually a good transformer. Rodimus Prime, that's one we haven't done him yet because he's just so bad. I'll probably do him with Hot Rod. But here he is with G2 Sideswipe, and we'll take a look at him side by side there. And as you can see, he's quite a bit larger there, and a lot larger than most of your general G1 Transformers. But this is actually his smallest mode. So this guy does get quite big, and that's why I have him so far away from the camera. Now, one thing that I did want to point out, I'm not going to do his full transformation. We'll just say that this is his punch mode. But basically, people get him confused with punch, counter punch, or the way that they are. Punch was actually an Autobot that turned into a little quick transformation there. Counter punch, which spied on the Decepticons and played like he was a Decepticon, even though he was not, and we reported back to the Autobots. People think that that's the same thing that this guy did, and it kind of is in a way. Because a little bit of history about this guy. He basically was the final Godmaster, or in America as we would know as Power Masters, to where whenever he had this thing parked into a cave, he opens up the glove box, and where most of the Power Masters, they'd pull him out like Genrai did, and he's like, what are these? And you see the gold bracelets, and they would have Autobots on both of them. Well, when this guy pulled his out, he had an Autobot on one and Decepticon on the other. Now, whenever he became that Godmaster, he could pick either side, whichever one that he wanted, and he wanted to pick the Decepticons because he thought that they were going to be a lot better to a lot more fun to be around, and destruction, not trying to save people and things like that. So he pairs up with the Decepticons, and he also shows them that he can turn it into an Autobot form, and he has the Autobot insignias on him, which is his robot form. We'll get into that in a second, but he convinces them that, hey, let me spy on the Autobots and I'll report it back to you, kind of like Punch Counterpunch did. Well, whenever he went there, and his whole mission was to destroy the Autobot base, and Overlord is shooting missiles in there, the Seacons are destroying it inside, and they leave him for dead, basically. And Manera, which he actually saved earlier, but just to get in good with the Autobots, she actually saves him, and then he later on becomes an Autobot, and basically to spy on the Decepticons. He's still not trusted, just because he was a spy. But at the end of the Super God Master Force, he basically becomes an Autobot. So you could put him with your Decepticons, you could put him with your Autobots, but this is kind of his neutral mode here. The other little thing that is different, with the toy, you got two different Power Masters. Only two Power Masters were able to do this. It was him, and then you also had Overlord that came with Lord Giga and Lady Mega. Now with these guys, this is referred to as what is it? Knock. Okay, so he's kind of like this little man figure, I guess you could say, but not too bad. It's got the basic Power Master articulation. The arms, as you can see, they pop off on a lot of these guys, so that's something that you definitely want to check on whenever they take pictures. If you're looking to buy this guy online, you want to take a picture like this. You want to make sure that he's got his arms and they're both the right direction. Then you have this guy, which his name was Scar, and you can just open him up here, and he just turns into like a little bat here. So there's a little look at him. If this is focusing, I hope so. But it doesn't look too bad. Now the misinterpretation, and I believe UK Comics is totally different than the Super God Master Force, which I'm basing all my information off of. He could morph into, there were two different people, or is that's also the way that the American definition of Double Dealer was? Is he was two different people? in the Japanese Super Godmaster Force, he was actually the same person, but just like he could transform a Triple Changer into an Autobot or Decepticon, these guys he could actually turn into, you know, Autobot looking, you know, guy robot, and then he could turn it into a more bat looking one, which was the Decepticon. So that's basically, you know, all I wanted to talk about history. I could talk more about it on these guys. You have to put one down before the other, otherwise it's not going to lay flat there. And we'll go ahead and get him back as well, and we'll get to some transformations. Now I could talk a lot about this guy because I actually like his character. It was a really good written character. It's an awesome toy as well. I highly suggest getting this. I picked mine up for, I think it was $60 after shipping, which wasn't too bad considering that I don't need to buy any new stickers. You know, it's 100% complete, and you know, it's in really good condition. Everything is tight, so you can find them every once in a while for a pretty decent price. You also have the chest piece that we'll take off here, but quite a bit of detail. Very nice. Go ahead and lift this section up, and we'll put him in his Autobot mode. You can put this in here, and you want to put the head to where it's up there, just like so. You don't actually need these Power Masters to do this. You can just push down on this button. It will release here to where you can open the legs, and then when you lay the Scar down, he's actually going to loosen up these sides to open it up. But we'll use the little gimmick here. Push him down, and then we can pull these legs out, just like so. And you can spread them apart and rotate them where the wheels are on the inside. Go ahead and take this missile out. We'll set that to the side. With the arms, you can come out just like so. And you'll have to get that other notch out there so you can kind of see like this. It won't come out all the way, and then you pull that out, and then it can float around. You got his arms here. And you can just pull up with his head. He's got a really nice head sculpt. Just zoom into that real quick. It's a really nice looking head. I do like that. Alright. We'll put his chest piece on here. And with his missile, you can separate it here. And this is supposed to be his gun, which it kind of looks stupid. But, I mean, you could switch them. You could put this on here. He could dual wield, I guess, if you wanted to. But I kind of like this look right here. Put that missile up there. And just have him hold this gun. This, if you want to, the only other place for it is this little peg in here. So we've got a little bit of junk in the trunk. But that way, if you want to leave it in this mode, and that's probably what I will do. This is his Autobot mode. As you can see with the Autobot insignias there. That way you don't have anything, you know, left that you have to put in a baggie and you know, put to the side or anything like that. Now he does have quite a bit of detail, and I did want to point this out. As you can see, he's got some detail here in the arm. And the only time that you see that is when he's in robot mode. So it's actually into the mold there. Also with the back here, you also have some nice detail here at the back of the leg. And again, the only time that you see this is when he's in robot form. So they cared enough to give us this extra little mold detail to where, you know, figures today, you're definitely not going to get that. As far as size comparison goes with him, here is, you know, G1 Soundwave. So, and Soundwave is actually a pretty big, you know, figure back then in G1. So he's quite a bit larger than him. Then here we have G1 Computron, which is a combiner, and as you can see, he's just a hair smaller, or you know, maybe half a head or something like that, shorter than Computron there. I don't have it down here, but Minosaur is probably just as tall as Doubledealer, so that kind of gives you a better idea. But let's go ahead and get into his Decepticon form. Put those to the side. We'll go ahead and take this section off. We'll take this off as well. Put these up. You take this trans sector out. Pull these back up, connect those. Now you can bring these back up if you want, but I like them out as far as the hot, because it kind of gives them that tail section, or I think he's a vulture to be quite honest. But with the head, you're going to come down here, and we'll go ahead and put Scar in. and do these arms back the way that you're supposed to. So basically transforming him 100% completely back, but I'm leaving these legs out. Then whenever you put Scar in, it's actually going to release here to where now these can pull up, which is really nice. And so they were locked in before unless you put in Scar or you actually, mess with the gimmick there on the side. Then with these arms, or legs, I guess you could say, you pull these out. And he's got his little feet there. You've got these wings, and you pull those out. Pull this section back, and you've got that little vulture head. Put that there. And then we can plug this there. We can plug this guy in the back there. And go ahead and put him there. And then with this bottom rocket section here, there's been a lot of jokes made about it, so I'm not going to point it out, but you kind of get the idea what some people think it looks like. But there you have Doubledealer or Doubleclouder in his Vulture mode, which looks really cool. Do want to point out some of the details with this guy. Just it's really beautiful. If you can see this outside here at the leg right here, you can see that it's kind of like feathers, jagged feathers, and even the detail here and the little claws down there. The head looks really nice. Let me get that focus there. Yeah, the head looks really nice. The mouth moves. Just the details in there. The wings as well. Ton of detail. And the side there as well. This thing, it has trouble staying in. We'll just take this out. You can put that in there, but you can't put this down a whole lot, just because that chest piece, it keeps on hitting this. So there we go. You could also put this up here if you wanted, but I think it looks a lot better right here. But there he is, little 360. I don't have Skylinks next to me so that I could show you them, but we'll just bring Rodimus Prime here so you can kind of get the idea on the length again. So as you can see, he's a lot longer than Rodimus now. But thanks a lot for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed. Hopefully you learned something new, about Doubledealer or Doubleclouder. But thanks a lot for watching. I'll talk to you later. If you're new to the channel, you like G1 reviews, Masterpiece, third party, subscribe. Should have Super God Jinrai next week as a review, and also Fans Projects Downforce, I believe is what it is. It's basically a drag strip. So I'll talk to you later, guys. Bye.